107.5 WGCI, the Shaw's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. It's the best damn morning show in Chicago. Myself, the Destin legend Leon Rogers, the shortest damn man in Chicago. Kendra G is also in the building. And we got a very special guest. Now, Kendra, before I introduce this young man, let me tell you how I stumbled upon him like a diamond in the rough, what he is. I was at the Dirty Little Secrets conference that they have for men, and this young brother came up and spoke, and I was just so blown away at his stage presence and how he articulated his thoughts and feelings to the crowd. I thought he was like 19, 20. When they told me he was 15 years old, it blew my mind. I had to get up with this young brother, and we had to get him on the show. Mr. Ian Michael Brock, he's a computer science activist, speaker, and a Generation Z game changer. What's up, brother?
Good morning. How are you doing, Mr. Rogers?
Hey, man, I'm great, bro. I'm great.
Can I just jump in and say he starts off with so much respect. I love the fact that he's referring to you as Mr. Rogers. Your parents raised you well. Before we go any further, I have to say that part right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And talk about you and coding, and how did you get into coding, and why is coding such a big deal to you, man?
Man, that's a long story. Well, we got to take this back to 2013. So I was in third grade. I was 8 years old, and I was in third grade, and it actually really started with my mom. She came across a video on Facebook that talked about the importance of computer science and how it was the future. The video was called What Most Schools Don't Teach. And my mom, she was intrigued because Mark Zuckerberg had posted it. And so she tried to get me to watch it or what have you, and I was in the middle of doing my homework. But I wasn't interested because it looked boring, and quite frankly, I didn't see anybody who looked like me. It was just a bunch of older white men in the video. And so in the middle of it, Chris Bosh came on, former Miami Heat basketball player. And, at the time, I loved playing basketball, and he was one of my favorite players. And that's what got my attention and convinced me to watch the video. I was super excited, and, it was because that he said that coding was cool. So we eventually, that following weekend, we brought Code.org's Hour of Code event to my school. And it was an amazing experience. Everyone had a great time. We had so much amazing feedback from my friends' parents that following weekend. They asked us what we were going to do next. And that led us to co-found the nonprofit organization Dream Hustle Code so that we could just facilitate access to computer science education for kids who come from underserved communities in tech.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah. So what age did you said third grade is when you started?
Yes, I was 8 years old in third grade.
So could we say that you're potentially a gifted student though too, that you were born with certain abilities that might just make you really good at what you do?
I wouldn't really say that. I'd say it was more my parents just developing me.
Okay.
It was more of a village. It takes a village. They always say it takes a village to raise a child. And they've taught me critical skills that I picked up, like personal development, just knowing how to speak to adults, knowing how to treat women, just basic skills that every kid should learn. They taught it to me since I was little, and I just picked up on it really quickly, and I just applied it to everything that I do now.
And let's break it down for the parents and children that listen to our show that just might not understand what coding is.
All right, so coding is used to program a computer. There are different languages, multiple languages such as JavaScript, HTML, Swift. Those languages are what you use to program apps, websites, sometimes even make animations. You use coding to basically program your computer to do what it does.
So even like back in the day when you had MS-DOS, stuff like that, that's directions for the computer to do different things.
Exactly.
So have you created a game yourself, or are you working on one?
I have plans in the future, but right now I'm still in the midst of learning, picking up multiple languages at once. But I think I got some plans real soon.
And we got more coming up with my man, Ian Michael Brock, young 15-year-old coder who's going to be giving us tips on how we can get our babies involved in coding during this coronavirus pandemic. We'll be right back. Let's go. GCI. 107.5 WGCI, the Shaw's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. It's the best damn morning show in Chicago. And Ian, let's talk about the book Dream Hustle Code. And also, let's talk about you, man, on the slick side. You trying to take our jobs, man. You got a lot of interviews out there with heavy people that people can go check out online, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm writing a book on success for kids based on Mr. Napoleon Hill and Dr. Dennis Kimbro's Think and Grow Rich book models. And so far, I've interviewed 48 highly successful people such as Mr. Steve Harvey, the CEO of Chick-fil-A, Will Packer, Miss Oprah Winfrey, and even Chris Bosh and a host of others. And it's really been an amazing 4-year journey. And the reason I started writing this book was because one thing that we noticed was that whenever the students that were learning the code, whenever they came across a challenge or any obstacle, they wanted to give up or quit. And so I've been learning personal development since I was 4. And because of that, it's allowed me to overcome those difficulties and challenges. And so we thought if I interview highly successful people, take the lessons that I got from those interviews and write it in the book through the point of view of a kid, then it would resonate with them on a deeper level, and they would be able to overcome those challenges as well.
Kendra, what we doing with our lives, man?
I know. Like, listen, I was going back when you was talking about computer languages. All I know in a computer language is Control, Alt, Delete. That's the language I know when it comes to computers. Listen, you are so impressive, and you just make all of us so proud. We're so happy and proud of you.
I'm actually hosting a mini computer science personal development camp for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders just to get them started on their journeys into computer science and personal development. And the reason why we started this was because in Chicago, they're only required to take one coding class to graduate high school. But that's not enough to compete in this new tech economy. And we know that every kid isn't going to be a computer science engineer, but we want to make sure that they develop the basic skills and that it's important. And so we're hosting this camp for 6th through 8th graders, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Central Time. And you can find us at dreamhustlecode.com.
That's amazing, man. I appreciate you. Keep doing great things. And one last thing before I get up out of here. If you could create the perfect video game, what would the concept be?
Oh, that's easy. If you could mix GCA and NBA 2K in one game, that'd be perfect.
Like a black market basketball league?
Exactly.
Hey, man, where can they find you at on Instagram, bro?
You can follow me at Dream Hustle Code on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
We appreciate you for stopping by, man. Keep doing great things. Tell your mom and dad I said what up, too. Your mom's good people, too, man.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Rogers, you can follow us on the camp at www.dreamhustlecode.com for the mini computer science boot camp.
There it is, man. Once again, one more time for Ian Michael Brock, putting our babies on coding. That's what I'm talking about, man. We need more young brothers and sisters like you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers and Miss Kendra. I appreciate you guys as well.
Aw, you are so welcome.
Music.